welcome to Conversation with the Cards. I'm Tammy, and here's this week's reading. So we're going to start with the topic using the Soul's Journey lesson cards, and these are oracle cards, and then we will just shuffle the Chakra Wisdom Tarot, and we'll just take one after the other and have a conversation with the cards about the topic. We'll see what comes up. Okay, so that fell out, and it is grief. I understand that losing something is an opportunity to appreciate it. It's really hard to look at grief as an opportunity sometimes, but it is. And we've all experienced it in one way or another, haven't we? Okay, here, grief's gonna sit over here. And let's give these a shuffle, and then we're just gonna take them from the top. I gave them a good shuffle beforehand as well, as I always do. Okay. The Magician reversed. So the Magician is a major arcana card, so a life lesson, right? And the Magician represents, it is early in the major arcana, so it's when you come to a point where you have gained some skills and now it's time to choose what skill that you want to follow. So when we reverse that, and when it comes to grief as well, okay, so we have to keep that in mind. It's showing, I'm showing somebody who just doesn't know what they want, just doesn't know which way to go. Maybe there's confusion, maybe there's hesitance. Sometimes it's hard to make decisions when we're going through grief. Maybe the fear of that loss again can make us not want to move forward in life sometimes. And we're in the sacral chakra for this card as well. Those are those instincts, right? Next card we have in the solar plexus chakra is the Three of Coins, the Three of Coins. So the Three of Coins represents, coins representing daily living, usually money, is just kind of being, you know, working at something, creating something. Near the beginning of the creation, but feeling, you know, like motivated. But we got it reversed. So grief can definitely cause a lack of motivation. And make us not want to have to do anything. And it kind of goes along with the Magician card, really. These are the actions that come from this feeling. So this life lesson of not knowing what to do, where to go, maybe not even wanting to go forward at all, is definitely going to make you feel very unmotivated. Grief will make us feel unmotivated. And sometimes we don't want to leave the grief feeling because at least it still makes us feel closer to the thing that we lost. But trust me, if it's a loved one that you've lost and you're grieving, they want you to feel better. They want you to be happy. I promise. Okay. We have the Nine of Cups. Cups represent relationships. And in this card, we are in the crown chakra where you access your higher self. So, I mean, being emotionally strong, emotionally mature when we're upright, but when we're upside down, it's the opposite. So very emotionally immature, very emotionally weak. Yeah, grief's going to make us feel like that. It's part of the process, isn't it? And a good thing to do when you feel this way is to access your higher self, because your higher self knows what you need to turn this card around. You need to listen. You need to listen to that intuition that comes to you and says, you need to do this. You need to practice some self-care. Two of Swords. It's pretty. Swords represent thoughts and the way we're thinking. And the Two of Swords represents like maybe the beginning of that. And we are back in the sacral chakra. When it comes to grieving and grief, this is where I feel like it gives us a chance to look back to the beginnings And it's kind of what it said in here is the opportunity to appreciate it, right? I'll give you a personal example. My mom passed when I was 16 years old. And one of the things that always helps is remembering the good times from the past and remembering different things, cool conversations we had, stuff like that. So, you know, it's a way to feel like you're in touch with them again. But maybe, you know, you can do that in a more positive way instead of just letting your grief take over. Grieve. You have to grieve, but try not to let it take over. Try to focus on moments that brought you joy with this loss or the person or whatever it is that you're grieving. Because we can grieve things, right? Like you lose a job or you lost your favorite ring, or, you know, we can grieve things and people. The Princess of Coins. And we are in the heart chakra here. And coins, of course, those daily life or possibly money. So the Princess of Coins is kind of like somebody's who's good at looking after things and taking charge in a more of a caring manner. When we reverse it, this person doesn't care, doesn't want to care, doesn't want to do anything about it, doesn't want to, maybe they're heartbroken. And part of the grieving process is going to be this. It really does fall in line. And I feel like I'm getting a particular message from these cards, which is saying grief, okay, as opposed to what's going on like in the world right now. So I think the message here is that we're going to be grieving the old ways of how things were done, but it's going to be and give us an opportunity to appreciate it. But we can also take the things we used to appreciate and we can build them into a new way of being. It doesn't have to stay the way it is right now. And trust me, I'm in Ontario, Canada. We've got it pretty crazy over here. And some more heart chakra. We have the Four of Wands. Wands represent action and what we do. And this says, take that action. Do it, You might not feel like you want to remember anything or do anything, but if you start by doing something and take small steps, right? A little bit at a time, then you're going to feel like you're getting through it and back to yourself again. And the Seven of Wands. So more action. And the more you take this action, the better you'll do and the better you'll feel and the further you'll go. Okay? And we're in the higher self chakra again here. So you can only go up from here. And I want to tell you something. Grief never goes away. You just get used to it and you learn how to deal with it and you learn how to use it as that opportunity, right? To appreciate what you had. And the more you appreciate things, the more you can get more things to appreciate. Loss is a part of life, but it always teaches us something. Now we have the High Priestess reversed. The High Priestess represents your intuition, and knowing, basically like following your instincts. And we are in the solar plexus chakra, so you going with your gut. Now, this could mean not going with your instincts, not going with your gut, and relying on what other people tell you to do or feel or say. And, doing things the way other people do may not work for you. Everybody experiences grief in their own way. There's definitely stages, but they're not going to look exactly the same for everybody. Don't worry about that. You need to do what works for you. Just don't harm yourself. Treat yourself the way your higher self wants you to treat yourself. The way a mother would treat her newborn. Think of the person, if it's a person, and what would they want for you, right? We've been all over the chakras today. the Ten of Swords. The Ten of Swords upright represents being, well, it doesn't represent being stabbed, but maybe that's stabbed in the back. This person's been through some stuff and they are not happy. They're not thinking clearly. Depression, okay? The thoughts aren't in the right place, and it's because of a lot of, there's a word that I'm trying to get out, betrayal, that could have happened now. It's actually better when we reverse it, because it means it's getting past the betrayal, getting past the depression, which is what I've been saying. We need to keep going and continue so that we can get through it and just learn how to deal. And the Ten of Swords reversed definitely is saying, if you follow everything else and you know, and one of the things too I want to say is that you have to go through it. You have to go through the shitty part where you're depressed and you're sad and you cry or whatever. Let yourself go through those things and feel them so that you can easier deal with it. If you hold off and you stop yourself, you're going to end up like this. You want to feel it so you can move on and let it drop and fall away. One more card, okay? The Queen of Wands. And then when you have done all that, you've let it all go, you will be more in control of your actions. You'll be more in touch with your loving, nurturing side, listening to the third eye chakra, okay, which is like seeing things that, you know, maybe you wouldn't normally see with your own eyes, like your mind's eye. It's kind of falls along with intuition. So when you listen to yourself, you're going to be more, you're going to get through it. You're going to be okay. And it'll be a lot easier to appreciate the opportunity of feeling so strongly. I hope this reading helped. If you would like a personal reading from me, you can email me at tarotwithtammy@gmail.com. Thanks for liking, subscribing, sharing, and clicking the bell so you don't miss all my other readings. Thank you, I love you, and I'll see you next time.